And welcome to Dave's World. I'm Dave, or DM Dave around these parts, and you're watching a special edition of Friday Night Fireside. Every day, another veteran falls through the cracks. Some of us make it out, some of us don't. And I'm not here tonight to talk politics, I'm here to talk survival. Tonight's not about a debate, it's about a story, mine, and the book I'm writing to keep that story alive. It's called The Things They Buried. And it's not just a title, it's a goddamn truth. As usual, I am joined by some of my friends on a panel. I'll go ahead and introduce yourselves, starting with Naga. Go ahead and tell them who you are and where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm Naga. You can find me on just about any platform under the moniker of Naga, Nagatsu, Nagatsu 11, Nagatsu Seiken, what have you. But I'm pretty inactive on all of them. So the best place to actually get in touch with me is right here on Discord.
Yeah, and everybody, if you want to be part of the Dave's World Discord, you can hit me up in DMs, and my Discord name, Sapper12B, is in the description of all of my videos. So if you want to be a part of the conversation, hit me up and join us. All right, Cindy, why don't you go ahead and tell them who you are and where they can find you?
All right. Hi, my name is Cindy. I'll have my face show a little bit later. But you can find me I'm on TikTok, and my handle is at CindyMom84. I'm also on Instagram. That's my music teacher page. It's Ms. Cindy MS Cindy, VIP School of Music. So that's where you're going to get a lot of my music teaching content. And then also I am on a newer app called Flip, and that is at Syntoxicated. So yeah, you can find me at those places.
Fantastic. Give me 2 seconds, because I'm kind of right now I'm trying to share the live stream link to my Facebook right now, and I would encourage the other panelists to do the same, since we are live right now.
Sounds good.
That intoxicated.
Say that again?
I was hot micing for a second.
Oh, gotcha. Ah, that was the delay of Cindy talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alrighty then. Well, thank you for joining me, both of you, and hopefully we get a couple more people to participate. But let's start talking about why we're here tonight. So instead of having a sponsor segment at the opening, Cindy has generously made a couple of videos that I've already uploaded as shorts to my YouTube channel to advertise the fundraiser that I am doing for trying to write my book. And we'll explain some more in a little bit, but I'm just going to start with this video. Whoops, what happened? Technical difficulties? What's going on? Oh, there it goes. Haha, now it's up. Looks like the sound is not coming through. That's unfortunate. Oh, wow. Okay, that's glitchy as shit. Let's try this again. Wow. Huh. The gods hate me. Ah, there it goes. The Things They Buried. My name is David Spade. Okay, it's just gonna... What are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, what is going on? All right. This is not going the way I had expected it to, but we're gonna start it over, and I'll just read it without the music. But anybody watching into the live can check it out. All right. Help a combat vet finish his book. My name is David Spaeth. I'm a disabled U.S. Army combat veteran, a single father of two, and a writer trying to finish a book that's been buried in me since Iraq. The book is called The Things They Buried. It's not a memoir. It's not a patriotic commercial. It's a short story collection told through a character named Spades, a fictionalized version of the soldier I used to be, and the ghost I nearly became. These are stories about war, trauma, absurdity, silence, and survival. They're told in fragments because that's how memory works when you've been through hell. Consider donating at the GoFundMe link in the description. And of course, that GoFundMe link is in the description of this very video that you are watching right now. So please, consider donating, or if you are unable to donate, just share the link, because every pair of eyes that is on this cause is another opportunity for the cause to succeed. I will say I have not checked the actual GoFundMe since this morning, when it was at around $365. So let's see if it's raised up any higher. Let's see where we are at in this moment in the campaign. I don't anticipate it's gone up too much higher than the 360, but just the fact that I've gotten this much in, 3 days, I think? Oh, we are up to $406, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that, $406.
That's amazing.
And unfortunately, because I have the screen cut off in a way that was supporting the YouTube video. Give me a second. Whoops, wrong button. There we go. We'll just put this right here, so we can all see. Asking for this much money. Is it, it's a good question. And I wrote all the answers down because I am a writer. Let me find where it's supposed to be on the dashboard. It shows where... Oh, there we go. View. Motherfucker. There we go. Hey. So here's my little spiel. Which that video already kind of shared some of this information, right? What I just read. About the title of the book and what it's about and why. And I do just gotta say, quick shout out to Alyssa Lajubashish. I don't know how to pronounce her name correctly, but she is another content creator. She's one of the hosts on The Line and a show called Chewed Gum. And I had a pleasure of speaking with her recently on her show, and also she allowed me to email the link to her, and she donated. So thank you, shout out to Alyssa, and don't tell anybody else on the line, but you are my favorite host. That being said, why am I asking for $10,000? So this fundraiser will give me the time and space to finish the manuscript, feed my kids, and keep us housed while I do it, format, print, and distribute the first run, and then hit the road and read it in places that need it most, like veteran centers, classrooms, libraries, and recovery spaces. I have a full budget breakdown of why I'm asking for this much money. The estimated cost of rent, bills, and food for 4 to 6 months will be between $6,000 and $8,000. Book formatting, layout, print setup will be $500 approximately. Obtaining ISBNs, distribution, and publishing costs will be about $300. A print run of 200 to 300 paperbacks will cost about $1,000. And local tour travel and outreach will cost about $1,500. Then I also added in an emergency fund for childcare, meds, and just a little breathing space as I try and finish this project. I've added in stretch goals if we can raise more. At $12,000, I'll produce an audiobook version and be able to afford a professional cover design. If we reach $15,000, I will be able to do a multi-city tour to speak with vets and readers. If we reach $18,000, I'll be able to afford a second print run and write some bonus companion essays to the project. And then if we reach $20,000, I intend to create a small fund to help another veteran publish their story. So I'm telling you guys, I'm not writing to heal. I'm writing so that others know they're not alone. This isn't therapy, it's testimony. If you've ever felt buried by something you couldn't name, this book is for you. If you can't give, please share. If you can give, you're not just funding a book, you're giving a veteran a chance to finish the fight on his own terms and leave something behind that tells the truth. Thank you. Every dollar, every share, every comment, it all matters. You're helping me feed my kids, you're helping me finish something sacred, and I won't forget it. So yeah, that's my spiel. That's my pitch. That is what I am asking of the audience to share with me if they can, or share the link if they can't. You guys got anything to say before we dive into some conversations?
Solid.
You were breaking up there, the guy.
Sorry, my signal is being wonky. No, it's rock solid intro.
Well, fantastic. Anyways, so grab a chair, stoke the fire, and let's talk about why this book matters and why your help means everything. And Naga, if you can bring we have another panelist who wants to join us. You can bring him on up. So, let me talk a little bit more about this book. First of all, most war stories are about the bang bang. This one isn't. This is about what comes after. What sticks? What nobody trains you to carry? I want to ask my panelists, my guests, my friends, what is the cost of silence? What happens when a vet doesn't get to tell his story?
Well, what happens is that it gets forgotten.
Yeah.
And anything that, I don't know, any lessons learned, we won't be able to learn them either. Right?
That's a good point, yeah. Naga, you got something? Did Naga freeze again?
No, I'm still here. I'm just trying to think of how to articulate it.
Sure.
But silence is death. As long as you're remembered, as long as there's some lingering part of you left in the world, then I've always been of the mind that once that happens, you never really die.
Sure. And Pied Piper, who just joined us, welcome, thank you. Why don't you go ahead and share us your thoughts on the topic so far?
I don't really know what is going on, but all I can say is just repeat what I did just say, which is immortality lives through a man's words, or person's words, I guess we're being inclusive here.
Sure.
But so honestly, yeah, all I can say is like sharing your story is the only way to achieve immortality. Kind of like it's kind of my thing.
There's a
It's
thought.
like sharing your story so it'll be remembered.
Yeah.
So you'll be remembered.
I agree. And
Because if you forget things in the past, you're just gonna repeat it. That's also gonna happen.
I would
forget Iraq. It's just
I would
gonna get
yeah.
repeated.
Oh.
We forget the Holocaust. It's gonna get repeated.
So
you forget
Oh.
all these things. You don't educate people on all these things. It's just gonna get repeated.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know.
No, I know there was a delay, and I thought I had so many breaks in there for I thought you would finish. That's my bad. To your point, I want to say that this for me isn't about achieving immortality necessarily, but I wouldn't hate it if that was a side effect of this. And to catch you up on what we're here for. I am doing a special version of the Fireside tonight in an effort to fundraise for the publication costs for my book. So that's what we're here. Rather than doing any corporate sponsor segments or anything like that, any advertisements or requests to buy Dubby, I'm asking that people spend their money on me directly. And the GoFundMe link for the project for the campaign is in the video description, and also you can find it, Piper, in the self-promo channel here in the Discord. So I'm asking people, if you can't donate, I get it. Money's tight for a lot of people, myself included. That's why I'm doing this. But even just sharing the link, spreading the link, and putting it in front of more people's eyes will benefit the cause tremendously, because it's all about casting that wide net and utilizing the algorithm to greatest effect.
Yeah, can't add on to that.
Fantastic. I will say this doesn't plan. I do not plan for this to be a very long episode tonight. We're gonna get through some specific discussion topics that I have that are relevant to what we're talking about here tonight. And then I'm just gonna let this video be short and sweet and speak for itself, so it can be shared around and get the word out even more, right? So,
yeah.
I want to say that I've faced IEDs, raids, and red tape, but writing this book, it might be the hardest thing that I've done. I want to take a moment to highlight, as you guys can see on the screen, the lower right-hand corner below our cameras, is the Veterans Crisis Line, which I would like to spotlight. This is a lifeline. The Veterans Crisis Line, you can dial 988, then press 1. It's free, confidential, open 24/7. It saved me once. It might save you too. This is something that we need to have, that we need to talk about and tell people that these resources are out there. And you don't necessarily have to be a veteran to call. They will talk to anyone. But this is funded. This is a program funded for veteran support and suicide prevention. But unfortunately, the system isn't always in our corner. Under Trump, Musk, and Doge, they gutted the crisis line, terminated remote work, short-staffed the hotline, hundreds of trained responders forced out while suicides kept climbing. Here is a link to an article that I will drop in the chat for people to see. This is from PBS NewsHour. And speaks of the federal cuts that are hitting veterans especially hard coming by the Trump administration. I'm not going to just read this article out loud to y'all. You can go find it yourselves. But it's called 5 Reasons Federal Cuts Are Hitting Veterans Especially Hard. Check it out. Inform yourselves about what is happening and what our executive federal government is doing to straight up kill veterans. Like, this is no joke. What they are doing is causing deaths. So let's talk about that, guys.
Yeah, me answering to it better.
I think this is one of the reasons why your book is important, because when you don't feel alone, like you feel a sense of safety, and it does help other people's, like, if you don't feel alone, that helps your mental health, even if it's a little bit. I think that's really good.
Yeah. Other thoughts from the panel?
I mean, yeah. Not really. There's not much to say here. It kind of speaks for itself, honestly. Like, I mean, it's not, I actually didn't know you were working on a book, or if I did, I forgot it. But
Well, technically, I've been working on
It's
this
really
book
good
since
so far.
2013. So, yes, it's been a long work in progress. So, and I haven't really talked about it much until recently, as it has been approaching the point where it's time for me to start considering how I'm going to get it out. I have reached far enough in my progress of the book's development to be like, okay, well, when the manuscript is done, then what? And that's what this is about. That's what this fundraiser is about, is giving me a then what.
nice.
That's good.
I'm never going to discourage someone working on a book, obviously. Books are a bit of a passion of mine. I don't know if you remember, but I like story writing and that
Yes,
kind of stuff.
we've discussed.
I actually think, and this is my narrative brain working here, I actually think telling your brain, your brain, your story, your story, in, let's tell your brain, no,
Yes,
tell your story
yes.
in like a,
Okay.
in a narrative fashion could actually be interesting. And this is not meant to disrespect, this is just me kind of having a little bit of fun. That is assuming you remember your whole story.
Sure,
you know, I imagine you're a little bit blackout drunk sometimes. You never know.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing
You were a
about.
soldier, my guy. I guarantee you were.
Sure. Oh no, I had those moments. Come on. And there'll be stories about those moments. Right? So, yeah, for sure. But one thing I will say is, my traumatic brain injury that I received from driving over a bomb, which that incident is going to be one of the stories, of course. I mean, I don't think the book would be complete without it. But the part of my brain that was most heavily affected is the part that converts short-term memory into long-term memory. So I don't have a problem remembering most of the shit that went down back then. It's pretty fucking burned in here. A lot of the things are, at least, especially the really high octane moments, so to speak, right? But it's the like new things that happen to me in my life that I have difficulty making stick up in there.
Yeah, I get that. All right. This shit don't work. There we go.
Now, one of the oh, go ahead.
I'm not chatting. I'm getting angry at my video game.
Fair. So the
It's being stupid.
what was I about to say? I was about to say something. What was it? It was probably important. Oh, I was talking about the driving over a bomb stuff. Yeah, and how it affects
That's
memory.
a great way to start sentences. Go.
So the
So you see what happened was.
the story is what's important to understand is this is not being told as a direct memoir of this is exactly how things happened when I was there. It is being told as a piece of fiction that is inspired by the real events that I experienced. And the stories are being told as fragmented and out of order events that the main character goes through, because it's meant to represent the fragmentation of memory.
Yeah, I get that. All right.
So that's the
I actually
basis
have
of the
some-
book. Go ahead.
I actually have some works I gotta send your way. Something I'm working on. I actually need your knowledge on mainstream Mormonism. So I'm talking about the histories of schisms in Latter-day Saint movement, and why the difference is important.
Okay.
And so that kind of stuff. So I actually need to talk to you about that soon. I remembered that you mentioned writing.
I
stuff
would
and all that
say
shit.
hit me up after Memorial Day, because that's also one of the reasons why I'm doing this episode tonight, because it is Memorial Day weekend. This is literally what this weekend is about, right? I felt like instead of doing our finale of our Matrix dive, that it would be more appropriate to talk about this stuff tonight. And of course, please, guys out there in the interwebs, send me money, right? Once again, if you are just tuning in, or if I haven't said it enough times, the link to the GoFundMe is in the comments, in the
That's right.
description of the video.
That's right, y'all. Start paying up.
Please,
Hand over your
please.
precious dollars.
Yes, dollar bills,
Can I say it
y'all.
would definitely be a better way. It'd be a better way to celebrate Memorial Day than doing any Memorial Day sales that are out there.
I mean, yeah. Do you need a
Would be-
mattress, or do you want to help a veteran?
Really putting it towards veterans. Yeah,
Right. I feel like
for sure.
I feel like if you guys are really worried about barbecues and beers and steaks and burgers and mattress sales and used cars, and I don't care if Nissan is doing a special tariff busting deal right now, let's think about what this day is about. It is about honoring the fallen. It is about memory. It is about people that I am writing about. There are fallen brothers and sisters that are part of this story, whose stories only I can tell because they are not around to tell it themselves. And I think that if nothing else, the cost of a case of beer that you might have drank this Memorial Day weekend, how about you pour it out for one of my homies into this fundraiser? All right. Let's move on to.
oldest
Oh, go ahead.
fish known to man, pouring liquor out for the dead. The
Um,
oldest fish known to man, pouring liquor out for the dead.
Gotcha. So, the next thing I want to talk about is something I read this morning, and that's because my particular news feed specifically is looks out for new things about veterans, and we just talked about all the cuts that Trump, Musk, and Doge made to the crisis line. And then when I read this morning, I was absolutely fucking pissed. I'm gonna go ahead and drop
When are you not at this point? I'm genuinely curious.
Usually when I'm hanging out with Cindy.
Like, aren't we all just constantly pissed this moment? Like, genuinely?
Oh, I mean, like in general, like life and what's going on around us. Yeah, it's just a nightmare. So what I read this morning is that the VA just announces that they $52 million in available suicide prevention grant funding has just been made available to it by the executive government. So my interpretation of this is Trump, Musk, Doge came in and fucked everything up, and this is their $52 million mea culpa. And I'm just thinking, like, this is a Band-Aid at best. At worst, it's fucking insulting to just be like, oh, we fucked up. We're giving more money to suicide prevention now. Isn't that what you wanted? You know, it is what we wanted, but like, it's really clear that it was only done to repair the damage that had been done. To me, that's my take. What are y'all thoughts?
Couldn't agree more, honestly. What is that?
I mean, I agree.
Actually, yeah.
And since we are talking about
It's
the crisis
frankly
line, I will
what you
remind.
call shit
Mhm.
behavior.
Right. Since we are talking about the crisis line, once again, I want to remind any viewers that you can see in the lower right-hand corner below our cameras right now, the Veterans Crisis Line. You dial 988, then press 1. It's free, confidential, and available 24/7. They tried, but they failed. The crisis line is still there, it's still available, and it saves lives. As I said before, it had saved my life once. It does save others. Naga, any thoughts? You've been pretty quiet and still for a bit. Uh-oh. Naga just looks frozen.
Yeah, his camera's not even on my end.
Yeah.
He's praying
It looks like he is, right?
to Buddha.
Oh, man.
It does. It totally looks like he's praying.
I mean, respect, I guess. Buddha's kind of chill.
Do me a favor, Cindy. Can you
The veterans pass.
can you just ping him? Let him know that if he is here, then his camera and mic, we're not getting anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeehaw.
Alrighty. So
Mama Utah.
again, speaking of the crisis line, I have a little stat to drop in front of everybody. 17.6 veterans take their lives every day. That's 1 every 81 minutes. Some of those names live in my pages.
No.
Some never got the chance. This book isn't just for me. It's for them. And if this fundraiser helps finish it, maybe we keep one more name from being forgotten. So once again, please, go find the GoFundMe link URL in the description of this video. If you can't donate, share it. Or share the link of this live into your social media streams or Discord channels or to your Aunt Bessie. Anybody who might see this and think this is something that I can do to help. Right? Just sharing the link itself means wonders. All right. From ash and silence to spades and the noose, this book doesn't glorify war. It drags it into the light, and it asks, what do we do with the parts of us that never made it home? I have a shout out to the viewers. If you see yourself in this, or someone you lost, share this, comment, talk about it. We survive by storytelling. This isn't just my story. It's a piece of America's, and I think it's worth asking, what kind of country do we want to be for the people we send to war? Before we get to our wrap-up, because like I said, it's going to be a short episode tonight, I just wanted this to be short and sweet and something that would be easily shareable and digestible for people. But I have a few questions for each of you to consider before we leave. Has Naga returned? Can we hear you again yet?
I'm listening.
Nope, he's still frozen. We'll start with you, Piper. So what's one thing that you want people to take from this tonight?
I'll be real, my brain's not entirely working, but but honestly, all I can say is just like, no matter your opinion on the military or the government or whatever, you gotta have some care for veterans. I mean, y'all kind of gave a good portion of your life to defend what you thought was right.
I wouldn't even say it was to defend what I thought was right.
And no human deserves to be treated the way.
Right, I wouldn't even
no
say... No
human deserves to be treated the way that many veterans are.
For sure. One thing that I wouldn't necessarily agree that I believed what I was fighting for was right, but I believed that I was fighting for the guy to my left and the guy to my right. That's what I was fighting for. And so, yeah, I did believe what I was fighting for was right, but it wasn't what the country was at war for. I was there to just make sure me and anybody around me got home safe. That was it. That was all. That was the only thing I fought for.
Also, didn't you do like a tour in Iraq?
I did 3.
Mm-hmm.
3 tours in Iraq.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness, I have a lot of shit to say on Iraq.
Yeah, and I
Like that
and
conflict there.
that conflict was it was my generation's Vietnam. We shouldn't have been there, and it was a losing war. And once we evacuated, it all just went right back to shit in somebody else's hands as the power vacuum disappeared. So I have lots to say about it as well. But at the time, I wasn't there for any ideological purpose. I was there to survive.
I mean, real. I mean, I get, yeah, it's real, like entirely. But my big thing on that one is that was actually a good example of how the government treats the military. It was a waste of human life.
Mm-hmm.
And like the reason we went in there in the first place wasn't even true.
Right. The
Like,
weapons of mass destruction did not exist.
And so it's just like it was just America making shit up to have an excuse to invade the Middle East, in my opinion.
Blood for oil.
And so it's just, I genuinely do feel bad for any soldier who had to go through that war, because I mean, I don't mean to sound rude, but y'all got played. Like,
I can't argue with that.
it's almost like your hands were tied. Like, we all got played, honestly. Everyone got played in that one.
For sure.
And so it's just like, and that's kind of the thing, is that like people, human beings are degraded by the whole process. And that's kind of what I'm incensed at here.
All right. The next question I had, I'll shoot Cindy's way. What scares you about telling your truth?
That's a good question. Can I read what Naga said before I answer that?
Please.
Is that okay?
By all means.
Alright, so in the chat he says, well shit. Okay. He says, well shit, sorry everyone. I have no idea what's going on my end. Good night, YouTube, and definitely donate to the GoFundMe if you can. I've had the privilege of reading some of Dave's work on the project, and it's fantastic in all caps.
Yes.
And, so I wanted to make sure that was read, so he had his chance to see or say something, even though he's having some technical difficulties. But back to your question, what scares me about sharing my truth? I think the biggest thing that scares me is being judged and being seen for a person, like as a person that I don't believe I am. Like if I get misunderstood,
Okay.
just being really exposed and vulnerable sometimes. I don't. I'm very scared to do that with most people.
That's actually a good question.
It is. Do you want to answer it?
Sure, why not?
Hello. Oh, wait, you can't see. 1 second.
My biggest concern when we say sharing...
I was prepared.
Oh, do you got something to deal with?
Hello.
No. I got somebody to introduce, but
hello,
you finish.
human.
Yeah, I got somebody to
Hi,
introduce, but
Dave.
you go ahead and finish your story, and then I'll talk about him.
My major concern when sharing my story or whatever has always been, will the other person actually believe what I'm saying? Because even I'll admit that to the outside world, my story might seem a little wild.
Sure, I've heard you tell it,
Those who
and some
don't
of the parts.
understand the background.
Some of the parts are hard to believe. Not that I disbelieve you. I'm just saying they're pretty
Particularly if you
wild.
don't understand. Yeah, that's kind of thing. Like, particularly if you don't understand the background of like the community
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and the order and that kind of stuff. It's just one of those things that like you get concerned where you're like, is this person gonna be receptive to what I'm saying, or are they gonna think I'm bullshitting them? And so it's fun, isolating, but fun. What's good, little homie?
So let me introduce, like I said in my spiel about the book and the fundraiser, I am a single dad of 2 wonderful children. This
There's
is my
another one.
There's another one, but Z is pretty isolating, and there's no way that I'm gonna yeah, no, I'm not letting Z sit on my lap.
Hashtag teenagers.
Yeah, hashtag teenagers. But this is Damon, my youngest, and this is one of the bellies that you can help feed if you donate and support to the cause and contribute. Because, like I said, part of the reason why I'm asking for as much as I am in this campaign is because I'm trying to be able to afford to live. All 3 of us here need need a little bit of an extra hand for this dream to be realized. So I have one last question that I was going to ask Naga, but since he's having technical issues, I'll just ask both of you and ask each of you to give your answers. But I'll ask Damon first. Damon, look at the camera. Look at the camera. Damon, who do you think should read this book? Who else do you think should hear my story?
People.
People.
Yeah,
People.
I got
People. All right. According to Damon, all the people need to read this book, people. If you're a people, then this book is for you.
you.
All right. I'll ask each of you the same thing. Who do you think should hear this story? Like, for real. Like who is somebody that you could identify, a group of people that really, really should hear this story?
What's up, homie?
Besides everyone.
Yeah, go ahead, Cindy.
Oh, besides everyone, I'm definitely, I mean, any veterans, probably would love to read it, and just because they could probably relate. Anyone probably thinking of joining the military probably would be good.
Yeah, all right. That's a good
But,
point.
I mean, my opinion is everybody, though.
I love it. And but let me ask Piper before we call it a night. Can you think of any group? Can you think of any particular group other than veterans or someone we've mentioned specifically that you think like this story is for them to hear, for them to read?
It might sound a little weird, but I'm honestly gonna say, like, the MAGA cult kind of thing. Many of them, I think, are just brought in by the rhetoric, and I think many of them probably do actually care about soldiers or veterans, but they got brought in by certain rhetoric that played on those concerns. And so I'd say, if you're leaning that direction, take a look at this book. It might open your eye a little bit. You never know. You never know.
Fantastic.
Also, if it's written by him, you just gotta read. It's a cool dude. All right, just read a book by a cool dude. All right, like.
Are you raising your hand to speak, Cindy? By all means.
I wanted to read what Naga wrote in the chat. He said, "My dumbass just tried to wave." He said, "Everyone, but especially Americans, you need to know how the government is wasting your tax dollars and putting lives, especially American ones, needlessly at risk, usually due to stupidity/stupid reasons."
I can't argue with that.
In real, though.
All right. Since Naga can only say goodbye via text, I'll ask him to go ahead and read his shout-outs and farewells, and then ask Cindy and Piper any last words that you want to say before we wrap up the fireside this evening.
I don't know. Here, you know, I'll plug. I'll plug two things. One, I actually have my own. I mentioned earlier, I'm a writer. I have my own story that I'm actually planning. I haven't told Dave this, but I'm actually planning on pretty much exclusively dropping it in Dave's world.
Oh.
I don't want to get money from it. I don't like making money from my stories or my creations, but I'm just gonna share it with the community. And if you want to read it,
I
join
would
the
love
Dave's World
to.
Discord server. I'm just gonna put it in a Google Doc probably.
Fantastic.
But also,
Two
if
stories
you
for the price of
are
one,
an
folks.
ex-Mormon yeah, two for the price of one. Come on. But if you are an ex-Mormon or a former member of any cult, really, but are allied with the Exmos, come join this other Discord server / Facebook group that we have formed called Ex-Mormon Hideout, open to ex-Mormons and their allies.
Yes.
I am also kind of reworking the Discord server to be more just generally inclusive of all ex-cult members, but it is Mormon focused.
Sure.
And so come take a look at that if you want to support ex-cultists. It's an isolating world we live in, so come make it less isolating, I guess.
I like that. That's a good note to leave on. Cindy, any final words?
I'll just say one. Naga says good night, interwebs.
Good night, Naga.
Deuces.
I would say, everyone have a good night, and make sure you check out that link to donate, and check out some W if you wanted also. And I know that we weren't really shouting out the corporation stuff tonight, but it still helps you.
It does. It does.
Donate, or you will have a hyper Mormon kid attacking you.
Fantastic. Well, we didn't fix it all, but that's not the point. We named it. We looked at it, and we lit a fire under it. If this sparked something in you, don't let it die out. Share it. Donate if